Hello everyone. From this video, let us try to understand how an information system idea paper created. Information system idea paper usually consists of 1200 words to 2500 words. It's a typical paper size. So it's very important that the sections that will be explained for this paper should be completed. Total paper should be within 2500 words maximum and minimum 1200 words. I appreciate if you do 1400 word paper. This paper consists of various sections which includes what is your title of idea. Next, we are supposed to give some introduction to the paper idea, like whatever the idea you have. Then problem statement, objective, scope, literature research, like a lot of sections are there. All these sections has to be completed. So up to here, till references section, you are supposed to complete. Now, what I do is I will take some example of the information system idea and then I will explain you how to create the paper. So let me take like usually information systems is created to solve certain problems of the organizations. It can be a small organization and it can be a big organization. My suggestion is consider a small organization. Anyhow, title will be given to you. Please follow the title. Try to understand what problem the organization is experiencing and based on that you start writing your paper. The paper mostly focuses on the problem organization is experiencing and how the information system created will solve that problem for the organization. These two elements creates idea of information system. Say for example, there is a busy salon which is getting unexpected number of customers and because of that long queues in front of the salon, customer dissatisfaction is identified and organization in future might face difficulty in handling the customers. Most of the customers can leave the organization. Okay, it will become difficult for the organization to retain them because people waiting in queue usually get disappointed. So how we can solve that problem? That is the problem if organization is having, then how we can solve it? The best idea is using an appointment booking system. We can arrange some sort of slots to the customers, and when customers come within the slot timings, it is possible that unplanned customers who come to the salon by walking, they can be managed easily. Say for example, the time management will happen for the organization, and because of which long queues in front of the salon might be solved. So by resolving that problem, what happens? What achieves the organization? Customer satisfaction is done, and customers can understand when the salon is busy, when the salon is free. Based on that, they can book the appointments, and by in on the booking slots, they can come to the salon and they can get service, whatever the service they are booked for. Next, regular without appointments, whoever come to the salon, they can also be easily handled because the number of people who come to the salon will be low. This is how we should create a scenario. So, for what organization you are proposing the solution, and what is the key problem they are experiencing, and what we have to analyze the problem and how it can be solved. That has to be uh, analyzed and presented in the paper. Say, for example, I will take the same example, whatever mentioned. So, my title is Appointment Booking System for Clinic, maybe. Okay, for maybe Sanya Clinic. Okay, this is my title. So now there is a clinic by name Sanya Clinic, and for this clinic we are creating appointment system. Now we should understand why appointment system is created for Sanya Clinic. So what is the purpose we will be creating an appointment system? What problems appointment system can be resolved? So if some title like this is given to you, so make sure if organization name is not given, you try to keep some fixtures name and understand what kind of system we are using and what kind of problems this system can be resolved. Critically understand it, then you can start working on it. Now, in this section, what I do is I will explain what Sanya Clinic does. Okay, Sanya Clinic, what it does, that has to be presented in first paragraph, and we slightly explain about what progress it has achieved recent times and what challenges it is experiencing. Say, for example, I say that Sanya Clinic is a local small hospital kind of thing, which will be providing basic medical services and health related support to the local customers, local patients. And in recent times, because of the kind of quality of services Sanya Clinic offered, it is experiencing a lot of patients at the hospital, and most of the patients were disappointed because of long queues and unexpected number of people at the clinic when they visit the clinic. Okay, this is the main problem. Though the company is giving quality of services, because of longer queues, the company might be experiencing very much disappointment from the customers, because of which in future it might lose the customers. The main challenge the organization is having is streamlining the appointments and allocating some sort of time schedule to the customers, based on which customers can visit the hospital and take treatment in time. So this is how we should create the introduction. Okay, by writing these three things: oh, recent progress and what kind of challenges it is experiencing because of the progress. Okay, otherwise the recent issues, progress or issues, then what is the challenge that organization is experiencing to resolve that issue? That has to be discussed. Some basic in 1 or 2 lines. Here, we clearly give a problem statement. So, the way we explained in the earlier section where challenge is mentioned, here, considering that statement, we are supposed to write a nice statement of 2 lines at least, describing the actual problem, how overcoming that problem will be helping the organization. These two elements has to be mentioned very clearly. By doing that, we will be done with the problem statement writing. Next, we should specific some sort of objectives and aim the organization is about to achieve. So in this case, what could be the aim? So here, increasing the satisfaction of the customers and promptly offering the efficiently offering the services to the patients and managing time. There are several important elements that are covered as a part of implementing the appointment system. So how we should understand how to write it, how we should understand that, and how we are supposed to write it in a smart manner. Smart means whatever you write that should be very specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bounded. Specific means, say for example, you cannot say that we want to increase the customers. Increasing the customers is a very generic term, it's not very specific. If you say that we want to increase customers by 10%, which will be very clear. Maybe we are having 100 customers, now we want to increase 10 more people in the future. The ask is related to customer and it is very specific, like 10% we are going to increase. It is measurable. 10 is the number and it is measurable. And if you have a 10% customers, this is small, like whatever we are getting in that we are going to increase 10. It is a achievable thing and it is relevant to the organization. And we should say we should achieve 10% of the new customers in 1 year. That should be mentioned. Now it should be time bounded. Whatever the objectives you mentioned, it should clearly discuss about these three things. These five things. Okay, whatever your objective is, that should be very specific. It should be measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bounded. So in this case, in next 30 days, the longer queues in front of the hospital should be reduced by 20%. Now, in this, longer queue is very specific one, and it should be completed in 30 days. It is very specific, 30 days measurable, 30 days time bounded. And how much we are decreasing? 20%, maybe 10%, maybe 90% we should reduce. These all are achievable, reliable, time bounded, specific, and measurable, like that. Next, the doctor time should be, the efficient utilization of services should be increased by improved by 100% in next 6 months. Maybe another one more objective can be the wait time should be reduced by 2 minutes. And by what time you are supposed to do it in next 1 year, the wait time of each patient should be reduced by 2 minutes. Like this, we should set some sort of objectives which are very specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time. So at least write four objectives and one main objective. So that is solving the problem. So that has to be mentioned. And in addition to that, we are supposed to give at least four smart objectives. Define the boundaries and limitations of your project. Set expectations for what will and what will not be covered. So the scope of the project discusses about your information system scope. Say, for example, here you are creating some appointment system for the clinic. Should say that the application that we are going to create will be limited to appointment management. It will not deal with only appointment management, which includes collecting patient details, checking, otherwise reviewing doctor time availability, and number of patients he can serve in a day. Based on that, we can fixing all the things. So only these functions like uh, checking doctor availability, checking the date, checking the patient details, and allocating an appointment. Then what we do, we will be checking whether the patient came or not. If not, intimation is given to him. If intimation is given, if the patient comes, that's fine. Otherwise, we could say that state and miss, like some status about the service taken or not, that should be updated. These are some activities we do as a part of appointment booking system. Other than that, we don't do any activities. Like in a clinic, maybe pharmacy operations will be there. Maybe operation and surgery related activities might be done. Maybe feedback system can be there. So these elements we don't cover. We only focus on appointment booking and ensuring that doctor's time is efficiently utilized and enough customers are served within this duration. So that is how we should define your scope related to your project and write it in a relevant manner. Okay, next literature research. So now here, what we do, appointment booking system related literature review has to be written, but you should not say it like straight away related to the appointment booking system. First, you should discuss about what if customer queues increased in front of office. What if customer is not satisfied, not is satisfied, or like what if customer is very much disappointed with the kind of service you are offering. Maybe it can be related to the longer queues, it can be related to the wait time, it can be related to a lot of things. For regarding that, you should write at least one or two paragraphs of literature research on that, and make sure you use in-text citations and you give proper references. Next, one or two paragraphs related to appointment system. How appointment system is efficient enough to handle these longer queues and reducing wait times, effectively utilizing the our employees like doctors, whoever it is. Related to that elements, you are supposed to write some sort of literature review. So first, what we do, we give literature related to literature or problem, then literature or solution. These two things are very important. So two paragraphs. Make sure you write two paragraphs on that. Each paragraph 100 words like that. You can write 400 words of paragraph on literature review section. Next, methodology. So usually while working on software development applications, we use software development life cycles. Software development life cycle methodologies. In this, there are different types of methodologies. Select iterative model or agile model. So by doing agile SDLC or SDLC means software development life cycle, or iterative model of software development life cycle, you can discuss some important phases. So discuss phases and select any one among these two and write about different phases. I will say SDL6, which means software development lifecycle. So if you take agile and agile related SDLC phases, if you take iterative model related SDLC. Next section is expected outcomes. So what are the expected outcomes of your project? You will be creating like if you worked on previously, if you worked on different type of documents, if say what I mean to say is, if you already worked on IS5803 product, you might have aware of different documents, 5 different documents we have created in week 7 works. So you can mention those things like test plan, document plan, um, changeover plan. Like this, there will be different type of documents we have created. Let me Usually project deliverables include these things, but anyhow here what he asked is, um, you are supposed to discuss about anticipated outcomes of your project and its potential impact. How will your project solve the identity problem or opportunity? So usually the software prototype is the ultimate, whatever the software we created, that is the ultimate outcome of the project. By implementation of it, it will be resolving the problem the organization is experiencing. In addition to that, we will be providing a project plan that we have used to complete the project is one outcome that clearly discusses about various important phases we have used, and it discusses about different plans related to the project. Next is maintenance and support plan. After implementing the software, there will be certain issues that can be handled by planning, which include maintenance and support plan. Next, changeover plan. While implementing the system changeover, what kind of plan we will be using, documentation plan. All these plans are outcomes. Anyhow, I recommend you to discuss about this one and any one among these things. Okay, so you can discuss software prototype and maintenance and support plan, software prototype and the test plan. So ignore this one, document management, and so you can take anything like software prototype and project plan. Any combination of two elements, this has to be there. And in addition to that, any one plan related given below that you can discuss how that will be helpful in ensuring that the problem is solved for the organization. Next important section is significance and contribution. See, by doing this project, how it will be helpful in our career, that has to be discussed here. Okay, after completing, like maybe while completing our education, learning process, how this project will be helping, that has to be discussed here. See, being an information systems engineer, or like being information system graduate, this project will help us to understand how an information system can be planned, interpreted, and executed. All these elements can be learned from the project. Because of this project, whatever the project we are doing, we clearly understand the root level. From root level, we can understand what is an information system project, how it has to be planned, how it should be implemented, and what kind of impact it will be having on the organization. So by learning this, it can help you in real time when you start working for some organization, or when you start your own organization to create information systems. In that area, it will be very helpful. So being a information system guy, it is very important, and it's your responsibility to understand this. Next section is feasibility. So you should speak about different type of feasibilities. I guess you have worked a lot of times on feasibility studies. If not, you just speak about whether the resources that are required to successfully implement the project is available or not. Is the project can be completed within the timelines that are available? Like maybe it should not be a never-ended project. It should be time bounded. Like in 3 months, we are supposed to complete the project. If it should be possible to complete that. Okay, financial resources available or not, technology resources available or not, people available or not, people and people skills are available or not. Is it possible to get from the market or not, that you should discuss. Say for example, I want to create this project in Java, and within the deadline of 30 days, and I have a budget of 1 lakh. So based on that, you should say that see the resources, Java skills, Java professionals can be found in the market. So there's a possibility that it can be implemented. We need some sort of hardware and networking technologies. So some sort of basic web development hardware and networking technologies are required to successfully complete this project, and they are readily available in the market. Just by purchasing it, we can do it. Otherwise, we can go with Amazon Web Services, where we can purchase infrastructure, online cloud infrastructure, and we can implement our application. Like that, we should discuss each and every skill. It covers resources, means it includes all the resources, money, hardware and software, people, time, everything. Everything comes under resources. Okay, so you should discuss whether the resources available can be utilized successfully to complete it or not. Now, in this section, create some important elements like different phases of the project, maybe software requirement analysis. For a software development lifecycle, there will be 5 to 6 process of phases of development of the project. Use that 5 steps like system requirement analysis, system design, system development, implementation, testing, like that. There will be different section. For each section, you try to create your own template of 10 to 10 activities, at least maximum of 10 activities, for which you should provide some sort of timeline of 3 months. In 3 months, you are supposed to complete the project. So by this, all the sections are completed. Now you will be summarizing the project. Here you will be mentioning what is your idea, what is the purpose of doing that, what kind of opportunity by addressing the problem you can create it to the organization, and how the proposed information system will be helping organization to overcome that. These elements should be covered in the conclusion section. And finally, whatever the index citations and citations used in the document, that has to be added in the reference section. Okay, this is all about the document. Next, this contains of some sort of formatting of a document. We should make sure that it is 1 inch margin. See, for example, this is 1 inch margin. Okay, this should not start from here. This should be starting from here. Your paper should be starting from here. Just adjust to it. And this is 1 inch margin. It's nice, 1 inch margin. Then what it was asked, we should use font of time as New Roman. So our font is Times New Roman. You can see that this is Times New Roman and 12 font size, 12 font size. To select anything, it will be of 12 font size. Next, the page should be double spaced. Just select, and here the spacing option will be there in the document, and make it 12 points. Sorry, 2 points. Okay, it is two. Oh, it is two. Okay, 2 pointed. And double spaced, including the abstract body paragraph and references. Your document should consist of abstract. Okay, so completely in the starting of your document, before introduction, just create a section called abstract and write 100 words of abstract to your paper. Okay. Abstract covers what it covers abstractly. So, generic introduction. Say, for example, we speak about a customer wait times and its impact on company's success, that we discuss. Okay. General intro to problem. General intro to solution. What is covered, main main problem addressed in this paper. Then, sorry, what is the main problem addressed in this paper? How it is addressed? What are key facts identified? Okay, say for example, if it is about appointment system, right? We speak about customers waiting the time at billing section, or customer waiting to larger customer waiting time to meet the service provider always disappoints customer, like that you start it. Okay, so then we say, after discussing one or two lines about it, then immediately we start like creating an appointment system for the organization can help to reduce this problem or solve this problem. So because of implementation of appointment system, it is possible to create some sort of time frames which will be helping organization to allocate time to customer, and the customers can own time, and they can get best quality of services. So now, next, this is generic information about our problem and solution. Next, immediately we start with what is the problem addressed in this paper. So we start saying that Sania Clinic is having some sort of issue regarding customer wait time and unnecessary longer queues. So in this paper, we are proposing to create some sort of information system to address the problem, like that we start explaining it. So then we say how it will be addressed. It can be addressed, what is the problem we speak, and then it can be addressed by implementing information system, which is a appointment management system, like that we discuss about it. Then what are the key facts we identified from the literature review? We could have identified that maybe some successful implementation of appointment system can provide a lot of benefits. We can discuss about it. Then we speak about uh, this project, the proposal project is feasible and it can be completed within 3 months. Like that, we try to discuss some sort of important points related to the project. So by doing this, this paper is done, properly formatted in APA, then forward it to your team lead. If any reviews are there, make sure you finish it as quickly as possible, because if any reviews are there, they can your team mentor can help you to correct it within the timelines. Thank you very much. All the best.